So my audio and this video is visible for everyone.
Yes, sir.
No
Yes, sir.
problem, no? Right. Let me
Yes,
take
sir.
now. I will not go in detail what is the difference between the liquid, solid, and the gas because they are already studied in the 11th class. So no detailed discussion about this one. Just we see the characteristics of solids here. So first of all, we see this you are observing a wood, right? Now this wood is a solid, right? Is an example for solid. A wood I have taken example for what is solid. Next. Now, if anybody asks you what is solid, then your answer should be like this. The solid have fixed composition, mass, volume, definite shape, and density. These are the 5 properties should possessed by the solids. What are they? Tell me. Fixed composition, mass, volume, definite shape, and density. Remember, students, I will ask the questions between when I discuss these topics. I will ask the questions, so all of you listen carefully. Don't keep the mobile aside and don't do other jobs here, right? Don't do other works. Listen carefully. Solids have 5 characteristics. One is called fixed composition, mass, volume, a definite shape. Every solid will have a definite shape, but gases do not have a shape. Gases do not have volume. The container volume will be volume of the gas molecules. All these properties are possessed by the solid state. This is the first characteristic, very, very important. Everyone knows what is density, shape, volume, mass, and composition, right? Fixed composition means mixture it is. Next, to understand more density, I will take some examples. Acting when you observe here, when you observe in solid state, see this each sphere you are observing. Yes, each sphere you are observing 1, 2, 3 like this. All these are actually spheres. Now in the solid state, the packing of the constant particles. What are constant particles? Anybody in the class? What are constant particles? Can you say? What is the meaning of constant? Which are examples can be taken for constant particles? Constant particles.
So ion.
You can take example particles. You can take examples ions, molecules, or atoms. All these comes under constant particles here. This may be ion, it may be ion, or it may be molecule, or it may be what here? Atom here. All can be viewed as sphere only. Okay, if whether it is Na plus or whether it is NaCl or whether it is sodium, all can be viewed as sodium only. They can be represented as what? Only spherical like this only. The spherical indicates what here? It may be ion, it may be mole. What do you want? कौन सा क्लास है? 12th इधर क्लास चल रहे हैं. आप कौन सा क्लास में है? 12th ये. तो आप घर नहीं गए अभी तक? ना जल्दी है अभी आपको? कौन सा फोटो? बाद में ले लीजिए आप. मैं क्लास ले रहा हूं, आप क्लास नहीं सुन रहे हैं. यू आर आस्किंग व्हाट, दैट इज नो नीड फॉर यू टेकिंग दैट फोटो. बाद में ले सकते हैं ना, पहले क्लास सुनो, मेरे को क्लास लेने के लिए. See, this is what the sphere you can take as ion, the sphere you can take as atom, the sphere can taken as what? Molecule also. So all are represented as sphere only, isn't it? NaCl can be represented as sphere. Na plus can also be represented as sphere, right? So this I want to say actually. And when you observe this one, all these constant particles are closely packed here. They're all what? Closely packed like this here. See, the gap between the two spheres, if you observe what happened, they're what? Very less here. They're tightly packed, where in the solid state. Now, when you observe in the liquid state, again here also some spheres you are observing here. These spheres are not closely packed. There is a gap present between the constant particles. Large gap is there. See, between these what happened? Gap is present here. So because of this gap, what happened? Liquids can move very little. Some little bit it can move. The water moves very fast because of what? It's a moving kinetic energy. That because of what actually? This space. But solids, they can't move, isn't it? Unless you could pick what happened, they move. But on its own, they can't move. Why? Because they're what? Closely packed like this, right? Now, what about the gas if you observe? See, there's a large distance present between the molecules of gases, otherwise what? Constant particles of gases. Large distance is there. See, large distance is there. See, between the four constant particles, large distance is there. That is the reason gas molecules will flow compared with liquids. They move what happen very fast, isn't it? They get more pressure because of that containers, the bombardment with containers. That is different. But what I mean to say is that packing. When you observe the second characteristic of solid, solids are more closely packed when you compare with gases. Understood here? Next, third one, density. Now, which will have high density? Solids, liquids, or gases? Tell me, children. Density of which one, which phase will have more?
Solid.
Solid. Let me see why solids are having more density. We'll take a diagram here. Then let density is equal to what? Mass by volume, right? This is the formula, mass by volume here. Now I am applying this, whatever this volume over the solids. You observe here. Now the total volume. See again, I'm taking this slide. You observe here, the total volume is occupied by what? This mass here. Now volume is completely filled with mass, right? Now your mass is more. Now second, if you observe here in the liquid, see the total volume you observe here, what happened? Volume is more, but mass is what here? Less. Again, in this case, see, in this volume, only 3 constant particles are there. Only 3 constant particles are there. Now in that case, what happened? Density, what happened? Directly proportional to what? Mass, inversely proportional to volume. So here what is happening here? Less mass and more volume, the density of gases will be less. In the case of this one, you observe here, volume is more, density is also more actually, with respect to that constant number of particles here. So density of solids always will be high compared with what? Liquids and gases here. So this is the third characteristic, density of the solids will be high, right? Next. Now, microscopic view of the solid. If you view any solid in microscope, how it looks? Have you seen solid under microscopic? Anybody have seen? Vinayak? Vinayak is there?
Yes, I am there, sir.
Okay. Have you seen solid under microscope? Any in biology lab? Have you seen that one? Any solid have you seen? Vinayak.
Most of the solids we can see through naked eyes, sir.
The microscopic view. If you can view anything solid, but microscopic view, how it looks? Have you seen how it looks under microscope?
So all the molecules are closely packed with each other. There is no gap between the molecules.
वो आपने देखा ऐसा closely packed? ये ऐसा
Yes,
आपने
sir.
देखा? जैसे मैं अभी स्क्रीन में दिखाता ना, जो स्क्रीन में जो आपको आया ना, ऐसा आपने देखा सॉलिड को? कभी आपने देखा?
नहीं सर, अभी तक तो नहीं देखा सर.
Generally, microscope, we can see under microscope, but in whatever having in biology lab, they are not efficient to show like this. Okay. So if you see under microscope, solid looks like this. Just now you said that one. You said what actually? When you see under microscope, the solids will be closely packed. So this is the closed packing of what? Solids like this. This is a closed packing of solids, right? Understood? When you observe under microscope,
Yes,
they looks like this. They looks like this. Now in the next whatever that slides, we are going to discuss about this, how they are looking like this, why they look like this. Okay. So this is the view of a solid under microscope. So just now we discussed this one. Solids of fixed composition have fixed mass, volume, shape, and density. And order of the density, if you observe, solids are more than liquids, liquids are more than gases. Exception is there. So if I say any theory in the chemistry, definitely there will be an exception. Definitely an exception will be there. So what is the exception here? Density of ice is what? Lesser than the water. I am saying जो solid का density is always what? Higher when you compare with liquids and gases. But one exception is there. Ice is a solid. Everyone knows ice is a solid, where water is a liquid. But in the case of this one, solid is having what? Less density when you compare with liquid. There is an exception is there. Why? Because in examination, if they say what happened, which of the following is true like that? All solids will have more density than the liquids. Is it true? One exception is there. 99% it is correct, isn't it? Some 0.01% it may be wrong because of what? Some exception. What is the exception? You know that one. Because of arrangement of atoms, arrangement of that constituent particles, arrangement of H2O molecule in solid state is what happened. Randomly they are arranged. In ice, what happened? They are arranged randomly. That is the reason what happened. Their density, what happened? Somewhat less when you compare with water. So that is not question for us. Just I'm saying that one exception is there in this one. You can't say always solids will have more density when you compare with what? Liquids. That is not correct 100%. Right? In solids, intermolecular distance is short. Now, what is this intermolecular distance? The intermolecular distance means the distance present between, the space present between the two molecules or two atoms or two ions. That will be shortest here, isn't it? So, for example, you observe just now, we have in the last slide, if you observe here, now you observe here, this is a solid state, just now it's said. Do you have a large gap is there here between two particles here? Have you seen some large gaps are there? No, these are what a minute gaps are there. These are minute voids, we can call this one. What I'm saying here, the constant particles are closely packed. The space obtained between the constant particles of a solid state is what? Very less, right? That is actually the saying in this slide actually. Okay, intermolecular distance means the gap, the space present between the molecule is shortest one. That is the reason what happened, their density is what? More, right? Now, can it be compressed? Can you compress the solid? Vaishnavi? Can it is possible? Compression of solid? Any Vaishnavi?
No.
No. Impossible? Right. Let me see is possible or not. No. Definitely it is what? No. Right. Now let me see. Semi-solids will be there. They are different. Semi-solids can be compressed. Generally, solids are incompressible. They cannot be compressible. You can't compress the solids here. Now, solids have strong intermolecular forces of attraction. There are two types of forces will be there. One will be intermolecular repulsions will be there. Intermolecular attractions also will be there. Now here what I am saying, intermolecular force of attractions. For example, you have NaCl is there, right? NaCl. NaCl, you will have Na plus and Cl minus. Now the crystal is made upon like this. Every Na plus will be surrounded by Cl minus like this, like this, and like this. Similarly, every Cl minus is surrounded by Na plus like this here. Na plus like this. Every cation surrounded by anion, every anion surrounded by cation here. Now, when they surround like this, what happened? Among this, what happened? Between negative and positive, attraction forces will be there like this. Attraction forces. Every opposite charges will have attraction forces. And even every molecule also will have attraction forces. By developing inducing forces like this, by developing forces, they can develop a negative. For example, sodium is there. Sodium neither have negative or not positive charge, but it can develop the charges. Induced forces they can develop like this. Negative, positive, they can develop in the crystals so that they can form attractive forces. That is not question for us. What I mean to say here, every constant particle will have some attractive forces. We are calling that one intermolecular. If it is molecular, you can say intermolecular, isn't it? If it is atom, interatomic forces like that. So every molecule, every constant molecule will have some forces of attractions or barrier. Okay. Generally, solids will have high intermolecular forces here. Most of the solids, if you observe here, they're having what? Strong intermolecular forces are there. What is intermolecular forces? The force of attraction present between the molecules is called what? Intermolecular forces. When they're having strong, they will have high melting point. If intermolecular forces are weak, then they will have low melting point. Why? Because if they're strongly attracted, the bondings will be strong. In that case, you need high temperature. You need to heat more temperature. At high temperature, you need to heat. In that case, it gets high melting point. For example, it is having weak attractions are there, weak intermolecular forces are there. In that case, what happened? We need less heat to heat that one. That means less temperature is required to heat that one. In that case, it becomes low melting point. Very simple to understand. If you have weak force of attractions are there, they will have low melting point. If you have high molecular force of attractions are there, then they will have high melting point here. Generally, the solids will have high melting points only. Most of the cases, they are having high melting points. Next. Now, if you observe here what happened, see, they're having the fixed here because all particles are fixed. Do they move here? No, they are not moving actually. See, all particles are fixed now. Okay. When you place anything on the table, what happened? A pen, if you place, they have a fixed motion like that. Now, what I'm saying here, when you beat that one, when you beat anything, what happened? Isn't it? They get vibrate like this. They get that means vibratory motion is present for the solid particles. These particles can move. That means they cannot move, but they can get vibrate like this. This is what vibration. See, you are observing here what happened. Ions are getting vibrated. You see, vibrating. The particles are not moving actually, but they are getting vibrated here. See, vibratory motion of solid state particles of matter looks like this. So this can possible with solid state. The solid particles, constant particles can vibrate like this. I will give some small MCQs on this one. Now you need to answer this one. Solid with fixed composition have fixed mass, volume, shape, all of this.
All of these.
All of this.
Right, very good. Next.
All of
Right, very good. Next, second question. Solid particles have intermolecular force of attractions, weak, strong, moderate, or zero?
strong.
Very good. Strong it is. They're having strong.
Strong.
Solids have what type of motion? Solids will have what type of
Strong.
motion? That already. Vibratory motion. They can, if they want move, what happen? They get only vibrations only. They can't move. They can't change their mean positions, but they can vibrate. That is important thing, right? They cannot move their position, but they can vibrate here. When you say what is the definition, what is the answer for? Select the false statement. Solids are incompressible. Solids have intermolecular distance, small intermolecular distance. Solid particles have random position. Solids have high density.
Solid particles.
Solid particles have
Option C.
C.
C, correct. Who is saying that? C is correct. Who is saying?
C.
C.
Who is saying?
C.
Okay. Okay. Right. They have random position. See, just now I told you they have fixed position like this. They are what not having a random. They are orderly arranged. Generally, they are orderly arranged like this. Okay. Right. Now let me take classification of solids. We move to what next? Classification of solids here. Solids are divided into crystalline and amorphous. Crystalline and amorphous. Crystalline example, best example, daily we use stable salt is a crystalline. Sugar is a crystalline. Amorphous means the powder we use what happen for face. That is amorphous. The powder we are using for what? Making the chapatis. That what? Amorphous in nature. To just imagine what is amorphous crystalline. I given some examples for you. You can imagine very easily. Isn't it? Amorphous nothing but a powder type here. Crystalline what happened? Having some sharp edges like this. They are what? Nothing crystalline actually. Now let me take first crystalline solid. What are crystalline solids? What are the characteristics of crystalline solid here? Now just take common salt, table salt, NaCl. The best example for the crystalline solid here. Right? You are observing this one is what actually? NaCl. And what is the formula for common salt means? NaCl here, right? Now, in NaCl, each ion, see, Na plus, surrounded by Cl minus. This is also a Cl minus. How Na plus and Cl minus are arranged in the crystal lattice. In this way, they are arranged. You can observe here. In this way, Na plus, Cl minus are arranged like this. Next, move to next slide. Now, in the previous slide, we have taken only what? One Na plus and one Cl minus. But if they're arranged in the form of cubic here, this is the cube actually, a cubic system where the ions are arranged. You see, Cl minus surrounded by Na plus. You can't see Cl minus surrounding with Cl minus. It is impossible. Any ion, if you observe, they surrounded by their opposite ions only. Understood here? You see Na plus surrounded by Cl minus only. The green you are observing, they are what? Sodium. The orange you are observing, that are Cl minus. This is the way of crystalline solid of NaCl. Three-dimensional figure also we can call. A regular three-dimensional figure we can call actually. In the form of cubic system. Homogeneous means made up on by same type of composition, same type of substance there actually. Now such homogeneous uniform arrangement is observed in the crystalline solid. This is the observation of crystalline solid actually. First of all, the first characteristic is what? Crystalline solids are homogeneous solids. They are what? Homogeneous. Homogeneous means same it is. Same you are going to have. No other composition you don't see here. Homogeneous solids here. Now, when you observe in the form of two-dimensional, this is two-dimensional way. See Na plus, after that Cl minus. So, alternatively they are arranged here. Na plus Cl minus, Na plus Cl minus. Alternatively they are arranged here like this. Right? Now, in this way also we can represent for any solid here. A, B, A, B, A. You take A is anion, B is cation like this here. Isn't it? In this way they are arranged here. Now, when you observe here, whenever they are placed, that means you are calling a order here. So, order if you observe A, B, A, B, A, B, B, A, B, A, that means order is you are observing here. Generally, crystalline solids will have a long range order. They will have a long range order. See, A, B, A, B, A, B. This type of arrangement is what? A long range will be there. So, this will be a long range order will be there. What is an order? Order simply is some sort of repetition. You know that one, repetition. A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B. For example, in a crystal lattice like A, B, A, B, A, B something. Otherwise, A, B, 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 or A, B, 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 like this. Or A, B something, A, B something. That means this is the order. Repetition of A, B, repetition of A, B, B. This is called nothing but what? Order. Order implies some sort of repetition in the structure. You can also call periodicity. Repetition is nothing but, you observe this wall clock. See, after 12 o'clock, again, you are getting 12. Repeating, no? 12, 3, 6, 9. You don't get 15, isn't it? You don't get 16. You are getting repetition. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 12. Then again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That repetition pattern is called nothing but order. So this repetition pattern is a long range is there, not a short range order for the crystalline solids. The repetition pattern is what? Long range is there here. That they want to say actually. Why they are long range order? Why they are long range order? So if you observe the continuity here, so this is actually the lattice, crystal lattice of a solid. Just you are discussing about NaCl, no? So the crystal lattice of NaCl looks like this. It looks something what happened like something we use in internet, storing of internet. It looks like this. The storage of internet, everything, it looks like this. Here also same thing like this. So this is a repetition pattern, long range order you are observing here. For what actually? Crystalline solids. How they are arranged, let me see now. Here in the beautiful diagram, let me take it. The constant particles are arranged in the definite repeating pattern is called what? Order. And how they are built, let me see. See, this is a cube, a simple cube you generally observe. So this cube I am taking here, like this. How it is managed to get, let me see. First of all, I have taken a simple cube, right? And you take a next cube. So on this above, I have taken one more cube here. Again, one more cube like that I have taken. I'm getting an order like this here. Replacing all these things. Repeating all this, we are going to get a this is called what? A unit cell here. Now, whatever you got this one, entire thing is called what? A unit cell here, isn't it? So here also one cube, one cube, one cube. All these cubes are arranged like here. How we are arranged here? Same thing arranged here. Same thing arranged. This is called what? A unit cell. Unit cell are nothing but what? Several cubes are what? Repeatedly arranged, isn't it? In this structure like this here. This is called what? Unit cell here. Crystal solids or have dash type of order? Anybody? What type of order?
First.
Homogeneous and long range order, right? NaCl is example for what type of example we can take?
Crystalline.
Crystalline.
Very good. Very good.
B.
Order implies what? What is the meaning of order?
Both A and B.
Periodicity.
Periodicity.
Repetitivity. Repetitivity and periodicity, nothing but A and B. So what is the basic unit for crystalline solid?
Unit.
Unit cell.
Unit cell.
Unit cell.
The cubes which are actually we just joined, no, that is called what? Simplest one. It is unit cell here. So let us discuss about this crystalline solid with the properties. Now, what are the properties we have taken for the crystalline solid? They have a sharp melting point and definite heat of fusion here. So when you observe your ice, I have taken example for this one. I have taken ice. Ice is having a sharp melting point, that is 0 degree Celsius. Okay, there is a sharp melting point and definite heat of fusion. Amount of heat in the fusion process it is. So ice is an example. To explain this one, we can take here. melting point of ice is what? 0 degree Celsius here. One more property if you observe here. Now when you observe here, when you are cutting this wood with what? A knife. Okay. Now you are cutting in different way. One is in vertical way, other is in horizontal way. Now can you tell which is better one? In which case energy required to cut wood is greater?
Vertical.
Horizontal.
Horizontal or
Horizontal.
vertical?
Horizontal.
ऐसे cut
Horizontal.
करना है?
Horizontal.
Definitely this will be
Horizontal.
it may leads to what happen, cutting off your skin also, your hand also. It is dangerous also. It is very simple, right? So generally wood is not a crystalline, wood is amorphous one, but we are discussing here crystalline solids only, but I have taken for that, showing that example, I have taken wood here. Correct answer is, it is different. For this one is different, for this one is different. It needs more energy, this needs less energy here. Because of availability, how you are placing that is different here. Now we see the diamond. How many colors do we see in diamond? Now when you observe under this microscope, we see different colors like this. Diamond is showing what? A different colors here. See, all are what different colors you are going to observe here. All the colors are in different direction, different colors you are going to see here. Now, if you observe that cutting this wood and observation of the colors, they are very important for us. There are many properties which have different values in different direction. That means you observe here what happened, the energy you are utilizing here is different, right? Just now you told me that it needs what happened, more energy, it needs what less energy. Just now you told me that. Okay, the energy when you are cutting this matter is what different, and colors you are getting in different directions also. You see, in this direction I'm getting green color, right? In the down direction I'm getting some pink color. In the left direction I'm getting yellow color. Different directions are giving different colors, and different directions are consuming different energy here. So there are many properties are there which have different values in different directions. So when you change the direction, the values are also getting changed, right? Understood here? Next. Now this phenomena you are calling as what? Anisotropy. You are calling as what? Anisotropy. To explain this one, I have taken this example. But remember, wood is not crystalline, even diamond is not that one. See what we are discussing, this is called anisotropy. Okay, so different directions we are getting different values. What is the meaning of this anisotropy? Different directions if you observe, or different directions if you perform a work, you are getting different results actually. This is called what? Anisotropy. So let me take this one here. Now the properties of crystalline solids if you observe, crystalline solids have the ability to change the values of physical properties when measured in different direction. They are having which type of property? Anisotropy. Crystalline solids are having which type of property? Anisotropy. Now what is anisotropy? The ability to change the values of physical properties when measured in different direction. When they measured in different direction, the physical properties are getting what? Difference. Mostly physical properties only, not chemical properties. Chemical properties depends upon the electrons. That's different actually, isn't it? So this is important for us. The definition of anisotropy. Different properties of physical exhibiting in different directions here. Such property of crystalline solid is known as anisotropy, isn't it? The definition you need to remember, all of you. What are that properties? Refractive index, just now we seen this one. Refractive index, dielectrical constant, electrical conductance. All these are actually anisotropy properties of crystalline solids. Now, let me take an example to explain this one. Now, this is a repetition of what? That order of what? Crystalline solid. They are arranged like this here. Now, draw two lines in different directions. I am drawing two lines in different directions. First line, if you observe here, this is the one line I have taken. Okay. The second line like this. Now let me take the pattern in the first direction. The composition of solid changes with direction. So first direction, the composition is different. That is what actually AB like this. Second direction is what? AAA like this. The composition is different. One is what? AB, other is what? AAA. That repetition pattern is changing. The order is changing here. Because of what? If you take in different direction. One is what I have taken. Which direction I have taken here? Something Y direction. This one is in a Z direction. Z axis. This one is what? Y axis. Their composition is getting different here. When you cut like that, isn't it? Hence, the values of physical properties also will get changed here because of this reason. Okay. So this is the reason for anisotropy. This is the reason for the anisotropy actually. So what is isotropy if you observe? Then isotropy does not exhibited by the crystalline solid, they are exhibited by amorphous actually. But let me see what is isotropy. One more example we'll take for this one. A refractive index of diamond generally for 1.5 in all direction if you observe for a diamond. Now, in glass, value of diffractive index does not change with direction here. When you observe this glass actually, refraction of light through glass slab, if you observe what happened, when you observe in the glass, so what happened you are going to see here, they do not change with direction here. They are what? Constant here. Because what is happening here, the composition of solid does not change with direction here. Why? Because in this amorphous, the order is what? Short range order. But in the crystalline solid, order is what? Long range order. When you get a long range order, what happened? Any direction if you take what happened, you will get a change here. Okay, because of long range order like this, A, B, A, C something, what happened? When you cut what happened, there will be difference will be observed here. But in the short range order, what happened? You can't see the much difference in that case. So that is the reason what happened. Amorphous will get isotropy in nature. Now just now we discussed this one. What does anisotropy? Exhibiting difference in physical properties such as electrical conductance, refractive index when measured along different directions. So what is the reason behind this one? Due to arrangement of particles in different direction. Different direction, they are getting different arrangement. Just now we seen in y-axis, the arrangement is AB. In z-axis, the arrangement is AA like that here. So this is the reason here. If they ask in examination, what is the answer? This will be the answer for you. This is the question and this will be the answer. So you need to remember this one. This is due to what? Arrangement of the constant particles in different directions. Because of what? Long range order only we are getting this one. Now, the type of crystals that do not show anisotropy are cubic crystals. Generally, what happens? They do not show anisotropy. They show what happened? Isotropy. Now, let me see here. Which of the following is not a property of crystalline solid? Which of one is the not a property of crystalline solid?
Option D.
D.
They are isotropic in nature. Isotropic is what actually? For amorphous. It will be for amorphous, not for crystalline here. Properties of the crystalline solids. All these properties. Now, do you know amorphous? Amorphous means what? Anybody? Same. Iso means what? Same. Two or more substances having same crystal structure. They are having what? Same crystal structures. Isn't it? Two or more substances will have what? Same type of crystal structures. They are nothing but called isomorphous here. So these are the properties of crystalline solids here. Now we have taken one example for crystalline solid in sodium fluoride, magnesium oxide. All these are what? Examples here. Sodium fluoride, sodium nitrate, potassium sulfate, potassium, selenium oxide, chromium oxide, ferric oxide, isn't it? The ratio also given 2:3 ratio, 2:1:4, 1:1:3, 1:, exception is there what? NaCl, KCl, they are not isomorphous. You observe here, do they are the same or different? Tell me, Vinayak, Vinayak or anybody. Do they are same or different? Tell me.
Different.
Same.
Their compounds are different. They are different actually, but their composition, see, 2:3 ratio. Okay, but They looks what same? They look same. Their composition same, same. The different. Their composition means the ratio 2:3 is different, same, isn't it? They may exhibit what happen, same type of properties. But this is not true for NaCl, KCl. Even they are what 1:1 ratio, they are not isomorphous. They do not look same. They do not look same actually, isn't it? So these are the examples you have taken: 1:1 ratio of composition, 1:1 ratio 3, 2:1,4 ratio. See, these are having same molecular formula, same structure. They will have. See, but here they will have not an isomorphous actually. Some crystalline solids are polymorphous. A single substance crystallizes into 2 or more forms in different conditions. Carbon is a polymorphous. Carbon is a polymorphous. You observe here what happened. Carbon, but existing in different forms. One is what? Coal. Other is what? Diamond here. Sulfur, rhombic and monoclinic. Their appearance what? Different. Their physical property is different here. They all comes under what here? What is the answer here? Crystalline solids are anisotropic, isomorphous, polymorphous. All of these will be the answer. So you have seen that some of are anisotropic, all are what? Anisotropic, all are anisotropic, and some are isomorphous, and some are polymorphous. Polymorphous means same substance but exhibiting different physical properties. In anisotropic composition, solids dash with remains same.
Change with direction.
Changes direction.
Anisotropic composition of solid, anisotropy changes with directions, isn't it? When you change the direction, the properties will also get changed. One is example for crystalline solid.
All of
And is
All are what?
all of
Solids. Now we completed the crystalline solid. Let me see what? Amorphous now. Let me see amorphous now. What are the characteristics of amorphous here? Now the constant particles are arranged in disorder manner. We don't have any order. You see, are you finding any order? Just now we see in the cubic. You tell you observed, no? The cube you observed, no? But here, do you find any order? It's a disorder. Nothing. In some case, it is looks something about tetrahedral. Some case, it looks something polyhedral like that. So there is no particular order is not there here. They are what? Disorder. Okay. They exhibit short range order. Just now I told you short range order. The order will be short range. Some here what happened? They repeats here. Again, repetition of order will be there. That will be very short here. They have no sharp melting point. Because of this, what happened? The melting point will be less. And they exhibit what? Isotope. Any direction, if you observe, they will exhibit same properties. Because of short range order, isn't it? We don't have any type of difference in that one. The arrangement of atoms, we can't see anything. So they exhibit isotropy. We can cut anywhere. They show what? Same properties. Next example, you take glass. On increasing temperature, amorphous solids generally soften and melt over a range of temperature. That means sharp melting point we are observing for what? Ice, 0 degrees Celsius. But for the glass, if you observe what happened, they will have a range of temperature. Something what happened, something 600 degrees Celsius to what happened, 620 degrees Celsius. There will be a range of order will be there of melting point for what actually amorphous. Whereas crystalline will have a sharp melting point. For amorphous, it will be, isn't it? A range of melting point temperature will be there. These are all example. Glass, rubber, plastic, tar, isn't it? All these are nothing but examples of what amorphous here. Now the question under here, amorphous solids are order, disorder. Tell me.
B.
Disorder with?
Disordered short range.
Disorder with? Long range or
Short range.
Short range.
Short range.
Short range only. What is the correct answer?
All of above.
All of
All of the above is the answer. What about this one?
All of the
All
above.
of the above. They exhibit
All-
isotropy, they softs on heating, and they are having no sharp melting point here. Now again, if we classify the solids here, crystalline solids, we have 4 types are there: molecular solids, ionic solids, metallic solids, and covalent solids. So from this, what happen? You may get examples, and their properties are important here. First, we see the molecular solid. What are molecular solids here? First of all, again in the molecular solids, 3 types are there. One is non-polar, second is polar, third one is hydrogen bonded here. So 3 types of molecular solid. What is molecular solid means? Very simple. They are made up on by the molecules like I2, H2O. H2O is a molecule, I2 is a molecule, CH4 is a molecule. So these are not actually, CH4 is not a solid, but just example I have taken like that. Okay. In that, first of all, we see the non-polar here. Non-polar molecular solids here. Now atoms like what happen? Argon, krypton, xenon. Do they exhibit polarity? Like hydrogen, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, nitrogen. Do they exhibit the polarity? Anybody? Do they exhibit polarity? Hydrogen?
No.
Chlorine? Do they exhibit? No. Why? Because the molecule is made upon by the same atoms. If the molecule is made upon by the same atom, we can't develop a negative and positive charge. Okay, but they can do. With induced forces, they are different actually. So the polarity cannot be developed because both are having what? Same energy. So that is the reason that called as non-polar. What is the meaning of non-polar? Very simple. Unable to develop the poles. Means what? Negative and positive poles. Unable to develop the polarity. Unable to develop the poles called negative and positive. So in hydrogen, you can't develop positive and negative. See, just for example, I've taken you the developing of H plus and H minus possible because of induced forces. They are different. So what I mean to say here, for example, if we take HCl, theoretically we say here it is negative charge, here it is a positive charge. We can develop theoretically, we can develop because hydrogen is less electronegative, where chlorine is what? More electronegative. So definitely we can develop the negative and positive charge actually, isn't it? Right? These solids are soft in nature and non-conductors of electricity. They do not conduct electricity. So first of all, why they are soft in nature? See, when they are not having any charges, okay? If they are not having charges, what happens? How do they attract with each other? If they are having opposite charges, if you observe what HCl, now between positive and negative, positive from the hydrogen, negative from the chlorine, they are having some attraction force or there here. Okay, that becomes what? Hard in nature. Okay, to explain, I have taken this one. The HCl is not hard actually, but take any AB. So take what? AB, A plus and B minus, A plus and B minus. Now between B and A, the strong forces will be operating here. Now they get hard in nature. But in the case of hydrogen and hydrogen, we don't have a poles here. Induced forces are there, they are different, they are weak actually. Induced forces are very weak. So we can't consider that. They're negligible forces actually. So developing any charges here, okay, on iodine. Iodine is a solid, no? You take example for iodine is a chlorine is a gas molecule. Leave it this one. Iodine is the best example for solid actually. Okay. So developing a charge on iodine is what? Difficult for us. So there is a reason what happened. We don't have any force of attractions present or what? Weak actually. So that is the reason they are very soft in nature. Okay. Why is these non-polar solids are soft in nature? Because of intermolecular force of attractions are weak. The force of attractions are very weak. And next point, the non-conductors of electricity. They do not conduct electricity. Why? Because there is no ions. First of all, there are no ions are produced here, and there are no free electrons to pass here. So electrons cannot move because of they are not having any free electron, and Electricity can also produced by what? Passing of ions also. But they don't found any ions here. We can't find any ion. We can't find in nitrogen in positive ion, negative ion. So absence of ions, absence of free electrons, they could not pass the electricity, isn't it? Next point. They have low melting points and either liquid gases at room temperature and pressure. So whatever they're having the low melting points and are either liquids or gases at room temperature and pressure here. So their melting points are very, very low here. They're low because of very same thing, same reason we can see, because of attractive forces. If the attractive forces are weak, see, between iodine and iodine, attractive forces are very weak here. Why they are weak? Because in iodine, we are not developing any positive and negative charge. We are unable to develop positive, unable to develop negative charge. We are unable to develop negative charges. That is the reason what happened. They don't get any attraction forces. The attractive force is always the reason for this soft character and low melting points. Next, the atoms, molecules are held together by weak dispersion forces or London forces, isn't it? London forces are operating here, or dispersion forces are operating. Otherwise, induced forces are operating. Weak dispersion forces. Now, what is this London force? What is this dispersing force? Very simple. I have taken iodine molecule. This is an iodine molecule, right? Take two iodine molecules. And both are not having any charges. But even though they should be attractive in nature. For this reason, what happened? All the charges will move together like this here. All positive charges will move together like this, at this direction. And the negative will be at here like this. Similarly, for the second molecule of iodine, all negative will move to here and all the positive will move here. Now, between two iodine molecules, between these two iodine molecules, now there is a charge is there positive, there is a charge is negative. Now, between these two, what happened? Attraction forces are present here. Attraction forces are operating here. Now, because of these attraction forces, they are having this soft nature and low melting point. Now, these attraction forces, what you are calling here? Dispersion forces or London forces, you can call this one. Okay. Next, second type is polar molecular solids. In the previous slide, we have taken non-polar molecular solid. Now, in this slide, we take polar molecular solid. Polar molecular means they can develop charge. You see one example here. HCl positive, Cl minus negative, H plus positive, Br minus negative. SO2 means you write like this. I'm writing here. S double bond O, S double bond. On oxygen, negative charge. On sulfur, positive charge. Here also negative charge and positive charge. Ammonia also we can write same thing. Nitrogen, hydrogen, hydrogen, hydrogen. On nitrogen, negative character. On hydrogen, positive. So they can develop the charges here on its own. We don't need any induced forces here. On its own, they can develop here. Now, these are also soft, but not compared with non-polar. Compared with non-polar, they are what? Somewhat hard in nature. Okay. So, these are also non-conductors of electricity. Here also you observe here, this is not a permanent actually. This is not a permanent charges. Now, when you observe Na plus Cl minus, these are what? Discrete one. Na plus Cl minus, they are discrete ions actually. They can move. If you dissolve this one in the water, Na plus will move. Na plus will move, Cl minus will move in the aqueous water actually. For example, I have taken water here. I have taken some water here. Now, when you dissolve NaCl, what happens? NaCl minus, now they will move in the water. That means some ions are moving. So, moving of ions is nothing but what? Current only, electricity only. But in the case, these charges can be developed because of negative charge. Okay. Now, that is the reason what happened. They can't move. When you dissolve ammonia, when you dissolve in water ammonia, this bond cannot be breakable here. They never broke. See, just what happened here, this can develop the charges here. Ions are not getting break here and they are not moving here. But in NaCl, what happened? They are completely breakable. The water breaks the Coulombic forces present between the sodium plus chloride here After that, what happened? They are moving, so they are conducting electricity. So here also what happened? They are what? Non-conductors of electricity. They are also soft. Their melting points are higher than the non-polar because somewhat increased. No, the charges are increased. Now what happened? HCl, at least they can attractive now because of negative and positive charge. They are now attractive now. That is the reason what happened. Their melting points are increased here. So whatever the properties are increased, softness is decreased, hardness is increased, and melting points are also increased. And the non-conductance is same. No change in this one. Examples you need to remember here: HCl, HBr, SO2, ammonia. Next, most of these are gases or liquids at room temperature. You observe ammonia is a gas molecule at room temperature. Sulfur dioxide is a gas. HCl is also a gas, but will store in the aqueous state in that one. HBr is also what? Gas molecules here. Most of them are what? Gases or liquids at room temperature and pressure actually, because of these weak forces actually. Next, in these solids, molecules are held together by dipole-dipole interactions, isn't it? Because of two poles, negative and positive pole, dipole-dipole interactions will be there. If they are solids, they will have dipole-dipole interactions. Ice is a best example, but you can take ice in the hydrogen bonding also. So both the case you will get your ice, isn't it? Which are solid in nature actually. Next, hydrogen bonding molecular solids. Some solids are attractive because of hydrogen bonding. This hydrogen bonding is stronger than the dispersion forces and dipole-dipole forces. Dispersion forces are operating where? In the non-polar. Dipole-dipole is operating where? In the polar molecular solids. Now next is what type of force is operating here? Hydrogen bonding is operating. So we can call hydrogen bonding molecular solids. The molecules of such solids contain polar covalent bonds only. If you get a polar, then only you will get this one. Polar covalent bonds must be there here. So what is the condition here? Polar covalent bonds here. Now generally, hydrogen bonding will form between hydrogen with fluorine, otherwise hydrogen with oxygen, otherwise hydrogen with nitrogen. Now whatever I written, this bond is covalent bond. This is not hydrogen bonding. Hydrogen bonding will form now like this. HF. I have taken one more HF. Now here F is having negative character and H is having positive. Actually, there is no bond between this hydrogen and fluorine. Observe here, there is no bond between the hydrogen and fluorine. So the space is there, but this space is getting attractive because of these two are what? Opposite charges. This is what? Positive charge, this is negative charge. They do not have any covalent. This is covalent bond, a normal covalent bond which is found because of sharing of electrons, contributing equal number of electrons, they share that electron. That is different bond. Now we don't have any bond, it is empty space actually. Even though it is empty space, you are having a negative charge on fluorine and positive charge on the hydrogen. Now they are getting attractive. Now this force of attraction present between the hydrogen and more electronegative like fluorine or oxygen or nitrogen is called what? Hydrogen bond actually. So if you get this type of bondings, we are going to get what type of solids? Hydrogen bonding solids here, isn't it? So strong hydrogen bondings you are going to observe in the ice. In ice, what type of bonding you are going to get? Hydrogen. Let me see this one like this here. HOH. This is the H2O, ice structure molecule of ice. Now again I have taken HOH. Now oxygen get negative character, hydrogen get positive character, hydrogen get positive character. Again hydrogen get positive character, oxygen negative character, hydrogen get positive. Now actually between these two oxygens there is no bond actually. Even though absence of bond, they are managed to get the force of attractions here. They are getting some force of attractions. You are calling that one as hydrogen bond actually. That is because of negative charge of oxygen, positive charge of hydrogen. So this type you are going to observe in the ice. Okay. Again, they are also non-conductor of electricity. Here also the momentum of ions are not taking place. You are not breaking this one. H2O is not getting broken here. H plus and OH minus is not getting broken here. So here also what happened? They are what? Non-conductor of electricity here. Now let me take all these three with the what we discussed now here. Whatever we discussed, parameters, non-polar, polar and hydrogen bond. First of all, we see the constant particle, constant particles. According to states of matter. So this is a symmetrical distribution. Something what happened, all the particle, the matter having this type of symmetry is there. Now once some type of temporary dipole is developed, all the negative charge is moving here. The negative, what this part is negative, no? What is electrons? Electrons here. Electrons are moving at here like this. Okay. Now whatever the positive charge is there, that is moving at this side actually. Now in this way what happened, dispersion forces are operating. Due to this, the second atom, see here it is what you take this one, again you take this one here, again you take this one, same thing here. Now between these two what happened, what type of forces are operating? London forces. London forces are operating. Actually this is symmetrical distribution of positive and negative, symmetrically are there. Unsymmetrically what happened here, all the negative charges are moved to where? At this side, and positive charges are moving at this side. Again take two molecules from this one, take two molecules, one here, second here. Now between these two some forces are operating, that forces are London forces, which are very weak. So the non-polar London forces are operating, this is operating here. Next, in dipole-dipole interaction, you take hydrogen and the fluorine. Hydrogen and fluorine, on its own, they are having a negative charge here, positive charge here. There is no symmetrical and unsymmetrical. They are having charges from starting onwards. We are not developing anything. So they are what actually dipole-dipole interaction. Electrostatic force of attractions between neighboring molecules having permanent dipole. They are having a permanent dipole moment here. Okay, so there comes under where here? Polar. This is according to states of matter. This everything is there in the states of matter actually. Next, finally, in the hydrogen bonding between water and, just now I shown this one, everything. This no need to explain again. So these are hydrogen bonding because of. You can take HF here also, no problem. HF you can take here, or water you can take here. They comes under polar, they comes under hydrogen bonding also. Examples. These are the examples. Just now we discussed this one. HF here also you can take. These are the examples. Nature of interaction, London or dispersion. Dipole-dipole. Here will be hydrogen bonding. State. Gas liquids generally exhibit non-polar. Gas, it will be volatile liquids. Nature of solids, if you observe here, soft in nature. Soft, all are what? Soft in. Melting point will be low, but it will increases here. Conductivity, all are having absence only. No conductivity for molecules. MCQ will see here. The following is not a type of crystalline solid. Did it say? Anybody?
Non-metallic.
Molecular, we have discussed. Ionic, covalent, and non-metallic. Definitely what happened? Non-metallic solids is a not type of crystal. They comes under what actually? Amorphous here. What is the order of melting point? Which option is correct? Which option is correct? Order of melting point.
C.
Very good. Hydrogen bond is more than the polar. Polar is more than the non-polar. Inert gases held together. Can anybody? Inert gases means helium, neon. Do they develop charges? No, they can't. Therefore, definitely it will be London forces only, isn't it? And dispersion forces, London forces, both are same. No, you can take answer London forces and dispersion force. Both are same only. What is in which type of example?
Hydrogen bonded molecular solid.
Right. Polar also we can take, but in generally we see hydrogen bonding is stronger when you compare with what happened, this dipole-dipole interactions. So whenever if you observe dipole-dipole, which is there in the polar molecular solid. In this, we are having what type of force are operating? Dipole. Okay. But in the hydrogen bonding, what type of force operating? Hydrogen bonding, which is stronger. So generally, if they ask what happened, take as a hydrogen bond only. Take as hydrogen bond. Shall I complete this ionic solids? Still we have some. How much time is there? एक 2 मिनट. So I will do one thing here. I will complete this ionic solids. Remaining metallic solids are there. That will take in next class. Only one topic is left in that one. So I will complete this one. Only 2 slides are there. Ionic solids. So I will complete this one. Ionic solids. Now we have completed what? Polar, non-polar, hydrogen bonded, molecular solids we have completed. Next is what? Ionic solids. Now ionic solids contains 2 things. One is called cation, other is called anion. Okay, so it will have anion and cation. Now relatively, when you compare the size here, cation generally will have small size when you compare with anion. Why? Because in cation, less number of electrons will be there. Attractive forces from the nucleus will be strong, therefore it will be compressed here. But in the anions, what happened? More electrons will be there. Because of these more electrons, the nucleus unable to control that electrons, unable to attract that electrons because more electrons are there. So in that case, what happened? That whatever the size will be more for the anion. That is a different case. So we have taken example called NaCl and the KCl for this one. Now we have seen number of times here. This is a 2-dimensional way. We have taken the first slides only. We have taken this one. Na plus Cl minus. Like this, the arrangement will be there in the ionic solids. And this is the 3-dimensional way. You have seen this one by keeping all the cubes. No, one cube over another cube. So we got a 3-dimension, a unit cell. Generally we call a unit cell. This one. How they are formed? How ionic solids are formed? So they are formed by Coulombic forces, the force of attractions between the opposite charges, between the positive and negative. So these forces are very strong. The Coulombic forces are strong when you compare with what? Molecular forces here. Now in this structure, NaCl, number of Na plus is equal to number of Cl minus. So when you take here to make neutrality, the number of cations must be equal with number of, and otherwise what happen? Negative charges will excess what happen? It will get instability here. Total charges in the ionic solid must be balanced. Hence, the electrical neutrality compulsory you need to. Now, if you observe what happened, this is the anion. This anion is surrounded by what happened? Cation, like this cation, 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 isn't it? This anion. Similarly, this anion is surrounded by these cations. This anion is surrounded by these 2 cations, like this. Similarly, same like this. This type of arrangement which depends upon 3 factors actually: size of the ion, charge of the ion, enter of polarization of ion. So the size of the ion also will be very important. Large size will be there. What happens? The arrangement becomes very difficult. Charge of the ion also very important because of opposite charges will be attractive here. Extent of polarization of anion also very, very important. Extent of polarization to polarize the charges is also what? Very, very important for anion. Generally, negative charges will polarize. That means it spreads the charges over the bonds actually. The properties are very, very important. Ionic solids are very hard in nature because of strong force of operating. The operating forces are very strong here. Therefore, they are having very hard in nature, and they are also what happened? Brittle in nature. Brittle nature means what happened? If you break that one, they will break in terms of pieces like this here. With a small pieces of having what? Same like that here. Ionic solids are having high melting point because of strong force of attractions. Ionic solids are non-conductors or poor conductors of electricity. If you observe here what happened, ionic solids are non-conductors or poor conductors. See, I told you, how do you current will pass? When ions are passing, then only current will pass. So I told you in the first topic only, they cannot move. They can get vibrate, but they cannot move. They cannot move from their moon position. Even though they are having charges, they cannot move here. If they can't move, they can't carry the current. Therefore, they become non-conductors or very poor conductors of electricity. Generally, ionic solids are non-conductors because they are having ions, but they are unable to move here. Okay. Now, if these ions are taken in the paste nature, that means called fused or molten state. Generally, paste nature is called what? Molten state or fused state we call actually, isn't it? Generally, if you take that paste, is having intermediate state between solid and liquid state. Otherwise, dissolve that salt in water, then we get aqueous solution, right? So three types if you observe here, both fused and molten state are same only. Okay, fused and molten state nothing but paste nature. So if ionic solid in paste nature are in aqueous state, they conduct electricity. Why? Because in the paste nature, they get some space. They get some space, isn't it? Just 1 minute, I will complete this one because of battery is low. I will continue this in the next class because let me complete early this one. Now the space is operating here in the paste nature. What happened? More space is present here. That is the reason they can move here. In aqueous state also they can move easily. So that is the reason what happened? They are getting conductorsness. The application of shear force. The shear force actually we can apply here. So I will do one thing actually. I will take in the next class. I will continue in the next class. Who is absent today? Okay, right. Leave it this one. Anybody having doubts? If you have no doubts, you can leave. And one more thing, before leaving, what happened? Most of them not submitted your assignment yet. You didn't submitted your assignment. Patil others?
Sir, we can't hear you.
So you have not submitted the assignment, submit today only. Understood? Any having doubts? Anybody is having doubts? If you don't have doubts, you can leave now.
Excuse me, sir.
Tell me.
Sir, is the caste certificate compulsory?
Only for SC and ST only. not for all.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you.
For getting under fees exemption, they need to bring attested copy of caste certificate.
Okay, sir.
Hmm.